What's up? What's up? What's up, people? It's your boy Jermaine McCrimmon. We back again. We are here. We are here. The 31st episode, man, of the podcast. I'm very excited about that, man. We getting updated numbers, man. You know what I'm saying? We doing some numbers, and I'm happy about that, man. We here. We at the end of May, almost end of April, almost, and it's beautiful feeling to be here. A lot of things happened this weekend. I hope everyone is doing good throughout the world, throughout the nation that we're living in. It's a good thing, to be here. The birds are making noises, the sun is shining, the wind is blowing. I feel good, man. I really feel good. I had to get the beard down. I got the little joint on in my face. And I'm feeling good. Hopefully, wherever you at, you tuned in and everybody's doing okay. And before we get started with this episode, y'all know what we got to do. We got to give what? Honor to the Most High, who give us the wisdom and knowledge to do this one more time and again. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So today's episode, we're going to talk about a few things. We are going to switch it up. I told y'all I got things coming. So, we're going to switch it up a little bit today. Today, I feel like it's time for us to get off just the news and just off and bad things. We are going to talk about some different issues today that are mixed emotions a little bit, but it's going to be sports, So the first thing we want to talk about on this episode 31, for those of you guys that's tuning in with us far and near on all social media platforms, we thank you. And the first thing we're going to talk about what took place in Canada, Vancouver, Canada on Saturday. It's really, really messed up. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it. And we're going to move forward. Here we go.
And CTV Scott Hurst is tracking that for us this morning. Good morning, Scott. What more are we learning about the driver and the motive?
Good morning. First and foremost, just an unthinkable tragedy. How quickly so much joy can end up being so tragic and cause so much pain and suffering for a community. So here is what we know about the suspect in this terrible attack. Vancouver police have identified as Kai G. Adam Lowe, a 30-year-old Vancouver man, as you mentioned, now facing multiple murder charges. But we're hearing from police that they are expecting Crown to potentially lay even more charges over the days ahead as the investigation, of course, continues. The incident, according to police, however, is not being described, is not being investigated as a terror attack, but a clear motive is still not confirmed at this time. The suspect remains in custody. However, police say the suspect, the 30-year-old man from Vancouver, is no stranger to police, with a long history of police interactions and interactions with mental health care professionals related to mental health issues. And so that is the information that has been put out there at the suspect.
So I just want to cut in a little bit, guys, and let you understand. So they're not saying this is any type of terrorist. That's great. Unfortunately, mental health is really a big issue in our world. So this guy has a history of mental health. His name is Kai G. Adam Lowe. He's a Filipino and out there in Canada. And they had a big festival. And I'm going to let him finish talking. Then I'm going to get into a little bit more detailed of what went down.
Suspect at this time charged officially yesterday, as I mentioned, with multiple murder charges, identified as a 30-year-old man allegedly driving that black SUV into the crowd of this community festival where this event was celebrating the culture of the proud Filipino Canadian community when tragedy struck, Akshay.
Scott, how is the community pulling together, really?
Yeah, an event like this, the Filipino community in Vancouver is a tight-knit group, and this festival was drawing people, Vancouverites from all walks of life. It was a spring festival, a nice weekend in Vancouver, so no doubt it brought out tens of thousands of people. There were stage shows, there were food trucks, and so really was a whole lot of joy for everyone in the community to celebrate the proud Filipino Canadian group and community in Vancouver. In the aftermath of the incident, a 24-hour emergency center was set up at a nearby community center. And we have seen vigils for this unthinkable tragedy already being held. And you can see some of the images there and leaders that did come out. We heard that David Eby himself, the Premier of BC, was even at the event earlier in the day, just attending, of course, as a BC resident, enjoying this spring festival in the community. And of course, this is something that will take a long time for anyone to come to grips with, and potentially never be able to get over the tragic loss in this community, where it was a fun-filled festival when allegedly this person ended up driving this vehicle right through the middle of the festival, striking many people. And you heard the witness accounts and how terrifying it must have been. Dozens of ambulances rushed to the scene to help in the immediacy of this. And we do know now that 11 people have been killed, but unfortunately, we are expecting that number potentially to rise as more people are still in hospital, Akshay.
So let me just tell you guys what took place. On Saturday, around 8 o'clock on the 26th, a black Audi SUV was driven over to this festival, Filipino festival in Vancouver, Lapu Lapu Street Festival, 41st Street in Fraser. He went through there and he hit a lot of people. He rammed his car. He took his car and made it a lethal weapon, and he just ran over tons and tons of innocent Filipinos. And he actually killed, like the man said, he killed about 11 people off the rip, off the gate. And a lot of people are going to be adding up to that as well. They sent people all over, up to 9 different hospitals. They sent people from that crime scene. And a lot of people talking about what could have been done to prevent that, what could have been done to stop that from happening. What was the issue? What could have been done? You know, how they could have stopped it. What they could have did to prevent a car or whatever it is to come through there and have an issue the way they did. All right, kill people. Well, and we look forward to this and you look into this, this festival was planned for a very, very long time. People knew about this festival. They knew this happens every year. They knew exactly where the festival was going on, you know, what streets and all the amount of people that would attend this festival. Filipinos come out and they're very quiet to themselves people, as I know them to be, very respectable people, stay in their lane, they do what they do. It's always fun, love, and food and relaxation when you hang out with Filipinos. Unfortunately, this man, he has mental health issues. He was arrested on Saturday on the scene, and he does have these issues mentally that caused him to act out in this way and cause death to the people out there. So our prayers go out to them and things as such. Now, how we could have prevented this and how we could have took a precaution is there's no way you can give access to any vehicles where people are marching or people are standing around eating and just dancing and stuff like that. He drove his car through an area. They didn't say he broke a barrier. They didn't say he crashed through a barrier. No. There was an error somewhere. There was a drop of the ball somewhere. And I hate to say that because people's lives were lost. But the bottom line is there was a ball drop somewhere where the man got an angle to get his car in there and to run over people like that. Sometimes it happens like that. No matter what you do, it happens. But in this case, I don't think one of the streets was covered. My resources let me know that, you know, he drove, he got around, and he came up there and he took havoc. So our prayers go out to that community. We hope things return to some type of normalcy for them, because it's not easy, man. It is definitely not easy. The next thing I need to talk about with you guys, and I want you to understand that, you know, as we go through our life, it's different things that happen that maybe might not be directly in our vicinity or directly in contact with us, but it does affect us or give us a different perspective on what could happen to us. So I say that because I want you guys to catch what went on a couple hours ago, maybe 13 hours ago, 15 hours ago in Spain, and it hit Portugal, and it hit some parts of France. And this is, something that was on the cartoon The Simpsons, and now it has hit in real life. So I think we should take a look at it. Here we go.
Millions of people in Spain, Portugal, and parts of France are without power because of an unknown grid issue. Authorities are asking people to stay at home and stay off the roads while emergency generators are being put in place. ABC News foreign correspondent Marcus Moore is following that story for us. Marcus, what's the latest?
Well, hey, Diane, we know that the power is still off to large portions of Spain, for sure, we know about, and also assessing the situation in Portugal. We do know that they have been able to restore power, according to reports, to parts of France. But this is really having a huge disruption on people in Spain. It happened right around midday, and you're seeing these images of people working and going about their day in the dark. This looks like a store where people were shopping. We've also seen, Diane, images of people who were on the metro system. They had to get off of those trains and were seen walking down the tracks, these dark tunnels, trying to get to a better place. And of course,
now I stopped abruptly because I want you guys to understand, our president, whether I elected him or not, he's still the United States president. Trump even mentioned about, what if the grids go down? What if we lose power? That's something major that could happen and can affect the American people. Well, guys, I don't know if you're paying attention, but we need to pay attention because they did this power outage, just so happened to be in Spain, just so happens to affect Portugal and France, just so happens, to go down during the day. What would happen if this went down at night? What would happen if all this power, millions and millions of people are out of power, and it happens at night? Let's think about that while this little clip continues.
Of course, there has been a disruption to travel. The main airport in Madrid was without power. We understand that they do have backup generators. And while there is some electricity that's coming through those generators, this has caused a major delay and backup for a lot of the air travel. And we've seen travelers who have been left stranded at this point. And Diane, you just mentioned it right now. There's no clear indication on exactly what caused this, if this was some issue with the power grid or something else. Spain's cybersecurity agency is investigating, as well as Spain's National Intelligence Agency. So it would seem that at this point, they're not ruling anything out in terms of a possible cause. Diane.
All right, Marcus Moore, thank you.
This is Google Pixel 9.
So, guys, as we see, this happened. This is real. It happened today over in Spain, over in Portugal, over in France. Millions of people out of power. Hospitals have to turn on their generators. People that are stranded inside of or underneath the rail train system. People are stranded there walking on the tracks to get out so they can keep on moving with their day. This is a perfect example of a test run, if you ask me, just my opinion. Hey, I could be wrong. I've said many things is wrong, take it in love, but this happens over there and it's not that bad. But if it happens over here, United States, what we do, where you got your radios ready, you have your water piled up. Now, we're not saying how long the power is going to be off, but this is clearly to let you know if it can happen over there, it can happen over here. And everyone is saying, about any underlying issues that may have caused this. What could we have done to prevent this? What can people do all over the world to try to assist themselves if they ever reach or get in a situation where it's dark like that? Well, I would suggest to everyone, God forbid, to stock up on your water, get some type of solar power, have a generator, have some type of food, non-perishable food that you can have on demand and stocked up high in case it gets bad. I'm not saying you need to protect your family, but I'm saying you need to protect your family. I'm telling you that things happen for a reason. All things happen for a reason, whether we like it or not, whether we're ready for it to happen or not. When it go down, and if it go down, where will you be at? Will you be prepared? Can you immediately get all your family that's close to you under one roof? Are your family stuck on trains, highways? Are your family stuck at the job, at the daycare? Are your family part of first responders? What are they doing? How do you think the neighborhood bodega store will act when the power let out? How do you think your neighborhood community center will act when the food pantry stores are closed and things as such? People that are immediately affected by loss of power, like the hospitals and senior citizen homes, what would happen to them and the people that care for them? The loved ones that's at the 55 and older or 60 and older living senior home, and the nurses and the doctors that go there to give aid to those people. What about the people on dialysis machine? What are the people that need to make these appointments, that have to see a doctor? You know, what will happen if the traffic lights stop working and all chaos? What if, God forbid, some of the germs and bacteria we keep are kept cold certain degrees? What if the power shut down and that's unable to do that? What happens? Ebonic plague, whatever. I don't know. I'm just saying this out loud to give you an idea, a mental capacity of what could take place and how would you stand if it does take place. That's all I'm saying. No more, no less. It's just something we need to think about. It happened on the low. I didn't hear nothing about this till late today that this happened. I didn't see it on TV. I didn't see it nowhere on the radios. I didn't hear it in my passing on, through in the high and by. I didn't hear nothing about it. No one's talking about it. So I happened to get a wind of it. I wanted to put it out there for you guys to hear it, you guys to share with your loved ones. We got to stop walking around here being naive to the case of what could happen, and are we prepared for the what if? Coulda, woulda, coulda, woulda, woulda. Where you gonna be at? What's gonna happen? So I'm not gonna harp on it too long. I just want to give you guys that. And my next and final topic is going to be about something that took place this weekend. And I was happy about this. I was very happy to see hardworking people excel and go to the next level in their life. We all do that. It's like when you go to school, you get you go in 4-year college, 2-year college, whatever, trade school, whatever it is. You go to school, you stay there, you do your time, you get your certificate, you get the diploma, you get the degree, whatever it is. You work hard and you elevate to the next level. A boxer that trains, he does his amateur fights, he goes pro, he get his title fight. Hopefully he wins the title, he's a champion. These things, you drive Indy cars, you drive the short circuit, you elevate, you keep going higher and higher. Now you're on the big dance, you win the big race. Just like you play golf, tennis, any other sport, anything you do, you elevate in it. So this past weekend, was the NFL draft pick. NFL draft where tons and tons of kids, 155 to 161 kids. And I say kids because they're all under 25 and they 22, 23 years old. And they're all playing football from around the world. We had our top 10 draft picks. You had a lot of guys on this roster for NFL teams to choose from to pick what needs they have and what needs they can fill in throughout the draft pick. And a peculiar draft pick everyone's talking about is Shakur Sanders. That's Deion Sanders' son. They played out in Jackson State, and he was ranked to be the number 2 quarterback in the draft. Cam Ward was like number 1, and he was number 2. And if you don't know Deion Sanders, which is his father, Deion Sanders was a high-stepping corner wide receiver for Atlanta Falcons. He played for Atlanta baseball also. He played for the Dallas Cowboys. Deion Sanders played for my mighty 49er fan, my 49ers. Deion was a showstopper. He come in there with the bling bling, and he put it down on the court, on the field as well. He'll take it to the house. He can intercept. He can do a lot of things, and not many people has his number. on stats wise. There are a few that hang with him, but not too many people can hang with Deion Sanders overall when he was in his prime. And his nickname was Prime Time, because when you needed him to do what he do and get an interception or stop a play from happening, Prime Time was one of the best. So Prime Time retired from NFL football. Long story short, he started coaching. He had some issues coaching, nothing negative, but just had issues coaching where people are always looking at coaches in a different limelight, especially if you have a different skin. If you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. So since he's of that other skin color, people target him because of who he is and how he carry himself. Well, I'm here to tell you out of a horse's mouth, I'm the same skin as Deion Sanders. A lot of men have to carry a chip on their shoulder, not a chip on the shoulder that we're arrogant, that we're cocky, that we don't care. It's arrogant that I know my value, I know my worth, and I'm not going to let you shortchange me or just put me in a corner any longer. I'm going to stand for what I believe in, and I'm going to stand for what's right for me and my team. And Deion Sanders, he did that. He took a Jackson State football university. He did his thing there. He went on to excel from them, and he got hired at Colorado. And at Jackson State, he had his son, Shakur Sanders. I'm sorry. He was there doing his thing, and he put up some good numbers. And I challenge you to find a Heisman winner in football that had better numbers than him. And I did the numbers. Y'all know I like doing numbers. The last guy that won the Heisman Trophy went to the NFL. He was drafted first round, 32nd pick. Do you guys know who that is? Well, I'll tell you. Since you don't know, I'll tell you. His name is Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson had an extraordinary season with Louisville. He did his thing, and he won the Heisman in 2016. And I want you to know, after winning the Heisman, he went into the draft, and he was picked 32nd out of the first round. There's not many people believed in Lamar Jackson, just like a lot of people believe in Shedeur Sanders. They don't believe in him like that. But I beg to differ for you to look at his numbers. Look at his numbers, and their numbers are identical. And since you don't have to look at the numbers, I'm going to bring you the numbers. So if you don't know, Lamar Jackson, his first 16 games in the NFL, no one had better career stats than him than Patrick Mahomes from the Chiefs. He had 13 first 16 starts, and Patrick Mahomes had 12. Higher passing rating. He had a higher passing rating than every quarterback in the league in 2018, except Tom Brady, the GOAT. The GOAT, actually, I'm sorry. The GOAT was under him as well. He had a 94.4. Tom Brady had a 90.1. Rushing yards. Lamar Jackson had rushing yards of 1258. I don't know if you know LaDainian Tomlinson, but he was a running rebel. He used to play for the Chargers, and he could run. He had more yardages than LaDainian Tomlinson, who was a running back. This quarterback, Lamar Jackson. Now, I know you're telling me, Jermaine, but we talking about Shakur Stevenson. I understand. But when I tell you all these stats and didn't tell you their college stats, you're going to understand. So please, bear with me. Per yardage attempt, Lamar Jackson had 7.6, and the closest one to him was Aaron Rodgers. But yet he went in the draft 32. He was picked 32. So now we go into college, and I want you to understand that, Lamar Jackson stayed 3 years, and Sanders stayed 4 years. He did 2 with Jackson State. He He did 2 with Colorado. There's no stat. I'm saying it. There's no stat from Louisville quarterback Lamar Jackson that beat Sanders' stat. He beat him in 2021. He had 30 touchdowns. He had 32 plus better yards passing. 22, he had 3,700 yards passing, 40 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 6 rushing touchdowns, passing rating a 70.5. In 21, his passing rating was 65.9. This is Jackson State. We ain't even talk about Colorado. His first 2 years, Lamar Jackson did not beat him at all when he was in Louisville. His 3rd year, 2023, he showed out. He was Colorado, first year in Colorado. He played in only 11 games. Both times for him in 21 and 22, Lamar Jackson and Sanders played the same amount of games, 13 games. And each game, each year, Sanders had a better quarterback rating. And now in 23, we only went through 3 seasons because Lamar only did 3. 69.3 quarterback rating, 3,200 yards, 27 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and 4 rushing touchdowns. But this man, this young kid, went 5th round, 144 pick by the Cleveland Browns. And everybody's so happy with that. Well, I'm happy for him that he got picked, but I'm going to give you another scenario of this whole thing. What if we looked at this from a different lens and we say, is that humanly possible that a person that can go through that for no reason because he was sharp or because he thought so well of himself, nobody wanted to deal with him? Because he had the confidence that he could be a changer in a locker room, nobody wanted to deal with him? Because he thought of himself to be that much better than everybody else, because he had the faith in himself. Is that such a bad thing? But let me ask you something. Bengals quarterback, if he did it, would he be treated the same way? If we didn't pay attention to Aaron Rodgers' foolery, every year he's going to stop playing or play, not going to play. He didn't have that same arrogant way. Would he be Aaron Rodgers? Would Tom Brady be Tom Brady if he didn't think he was the man deep down inside? If Michael Jordan didn't think he was Michael Jordan before he became Michael Jordan, would he have been Michael Jordan? I'm telling you guys, you got to have that from within. And America, we knock that. We act like it's a bad thing. It's not. Joe Burrows, the quarterback from the Bengals, he got the same type of swag to him. It's nothing wrong with having swag. He stayed humble. He don't say nothing wrong. Haven't been in no trouble off field. And he works on the field, and that speaks for him. Why he can't just have a normal draft? Well, that's one scenario. The other scenario is when you look overall in football, how often do people pay attention after the first round? I'll wait. How often do people pay attention after the first round? A lot of people don't pay attention after the first round. Do you know this year was the highest numbers ever reached of people in the world watching NFL draft pick day on round 2? Because they all thought Sanders' son would be picked in round 2. They broke the record of most watched ever in NFL history because they felt we need to know where this kid is going. Who's to say? People might have thought that Dion would have interfered, his father would have interfered with the pick and wanted to show his colors of being angry. His son went to a certain team that they didn't agree with. Well, I give you this. And it's time for me to go. We reached our mark. I'd like to thank you for sharing and staying with us and checking us out on all social media platforms. But I'm going to tell you this, and this is what you need to know. The Browns drafted him, but the Browns have 4 other quarterbacks besides him. They have Sean Watson, he's out, torn Achilles. Dylan Gabriel, maybe he'll do something. Joe Flacco, he got some numbers, some time on him. Kenny Pickett, he's all right, came out of Pittsburgh. And you got Sanders, right? So now that he made the roster, you only can bring no more than 3 quarterbacks on the roster. So we know Sean Watson not going to be there because he's out with a torn Achilles. We know maybe Kenny Pickett might go somewhere else. But the chances of Sanders making the team is high, but he still got to fight. But I leave you with this. What's for you, can no man take it from you. When God give it to you, it's going to be yours, whether you look for it today, tomorrow, whenever it is. When they call your name, you got the answer. I'm your host, Jermaine McCrimmon. This is Humanity Unplugged. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. This is our 31st episode. I feel good. Hopefully you guys are feeling great. Get home safe. Have a good one. Peace.